What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 177, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today's episode is going to be my Week 15 playoff running back rankings, top 36, and it's a crucial fantasy football week, man. And if you played Cooper Kupp last night like I did in 5 leagues, we need to make up the ground that the goose egg gave us last week, which is absolutely crazy. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that like, make sure you hit that subscription, turn that bell on, helps me out a ton. I will be live. Again, we were live yesterday before the game. Thank you guys who came out for the stream. It was absolutely amazing. 50 views, unbelievable. Your guys' support has been absolutely insane. And I will be live again today, probably playing some Fortnite later. But then Saturday and Sunday, we will have some, more content, more shows, different people on the show, stuff like that. And then, of course, Sunday's our big show. And then if you cannot make any of the shows, you can always drop any comment you want down below. One of my goals is to answer every single one of them. And it's crunch time, so fire away, guys. It is big implication week with the playoffs on the line. Let's dive into my Week 15 top 36 running back rankings. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my running back board for Week 15 here. You see baller tiers at the top, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. Some teams will have 2 running backs. I'll break them down at the same time. I will give you defense statistics on why I have the rankings on why it is. And then we'll look at the injuries here at the bottom. So you still got CMC out for the season. Kenneth Walker, we don't know if he's going to be out there or not. Austin Eckler's done for the fantasy season. And Breece Hall, we're all just waiting to see if he's going to play this week. And if he does, I would put him back in the top 12 as well because you get Jacksonville. Now, on the right, you'll see a running back that's just out of my rankings, Javonte Williams. I don't trust any Broncos running backs. And the matchup is great versus the Colts. I just don't know what they're doing over there. So I can't put him in my top 36. Heading into tier 1, number 1 is going to be King Henry getting the New York Giants this week. Can you ask for a better matchup coming off the bye for King Henry? Gets his rest. You know he's older. You know it's coming down the stretch. And you're going to get a 42.5 over-under game where I think the Ravens could probably score 42 points by themselves against the Giants right now. They're absolutely falling apart. And look how bad they are versus the run lately. And they were good to start the season too. But this is what happens when your team falls out of contention. They rank 27th, giving up 25 points a game to the running back in full PPR. That's all the scoring I do is full PPR, by the way, if I didn't mention that. 26th on the season and 22nd in the red zone, giving up 115 yards a game, which is 3rd worst in the NFL, and about an 80% chance of a touchdown. You know King Henry is falling on the end zone. I actually like all his props, too. If you guys gamble responsibly. Running back number 2 is going to be Bijan Robinson. This man is absolutely destroying fantasy football as of late, even with Kirk Cousins playing bad. And you're going to get the Las Vegas Raiders this week. And talk about taking you to the semifinals. This guy's got, out of the past, just think about this for a second. Week 6 is Carolina, right? The smash matchup. It's week 14 now. Do you know how many games since week 6 to week 14 that Bijan hasn't scored 20 points in? Only one at Denver. 20, 25, 29, 21, 23, 23, 25. They should have been using this guy like this at the beginning of the season, and he would be RB1, currently RB4. You get the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders versus the run give up 23.4. So right there, you're looking at a smash play for Bijan. 19th on the season, 24th in the red zone, so high touchdown upside. 97.8 yards they give up, and a 70% chance to find the end zone, but he's found the end zone 4 times out of the past 3 games. I expect him to find it again here as well. Number 3 is going to be Saquon Barkley. And I know it's hard not to rank Saquon at number 1, but I just don't like his matchup this week as well as I do Derrick Henry and as well as I do Bijan. So you're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a very good front 7. They rank 11th. They give up 20.8 points. They rank 11th on the season, 13th in the red zone. And they give up only 78 yards, which is top 10 there as well. And they give up a 70% chance for a touchdown, which, possibility for him to find the end zone at any time. But you always have the Jalen Hurts tush push as well, which has probably cost Saquon like 10 touchdowns this year, honestly. So I'm going to leave him at 3 just because the matchup is tougher. Obviously, Saquon is an unbelievable talent. I had him ranked RB2 when the season started. And it's just the Steelers, man. Number 4 is my guy, Devon. The hurricane season is here, and this guy has just been on an absolute tear, like I said he would be all year long. 18 points, 20 points, 21 points, 20 points, 10 points, 32, 27, 10. Absolutely destroying fantasy football. Played the most snaps he's played all season last week with 83%. So he is the locked in guy. And the matchup you're going to get is the Houston Texans. There's no weather. So weather is also something that really factors into running backs as well as the season goes on. Because when it gets colder, you get the bigger bruising backs. You get a different look at it. So you're going to get the Houston Texans this week in the Dome. This is going to be probably my shootout game that I don't think people are predicting as one. So they only have it at 46.5. I think that's an easy smash the over. The Dolphins are absolutely balling. Tua is balling. They're trying to save their season. And I honestly think they beat the Texans this week. Now, the Houston Texans versus the run. This is a very good run defense, right? They rank 4th. They give up 17.9. They rank 8th in the red zone. They give up 84 yards on the season and a 50% chance of a touchdown. But Achane is a monster through the air. And that is where he is going to destroy this team, right? So when you look at it like this, I'm going to pull up chart here. The receiving backs that they give up they allow 23.8 yards right there, about 4 receptions a game to the running back. But this is a different look for the Miami Dolphins offense. They manufacture touches for Achane, and Tua looks for him every single time. He's going to absolutely explode in this game. Number 5 is going to be Josh Jacobs, and people just got to stop questioning about starting this guy. I mean, he has been absolutely killing fantasy football. He has had literally 6 out of the past 7 games with 20-plus points, kind of like Bijan Robinson. You get the Seattle Seahawks this week, who James Conner just had a good game against, even though they lost the game. They give up 23.3, which ranks 19th. They rank 16th in the red zone. They give up 110 rushing yards a game right there, which is bottom 7, and a 60% chance of a touchdown. But you saw him hat trick it last week with 3. I love Josh Jacobs this week. Now, my highest ranking pick of the week that no one else is going to do is here. It is right here. First time he's ever made the baller tier. First time ever this high ranking him, and I don't think anyone else is going to rank him this high. Rico Dowdle is my running back 6 on the week, guys. You're going to get the Carolina Panthers, right? And if you just look at what Rico has done here in the past, since he's gotten the job, right? Let's just say it like that, right? This is what you have to look at. Let's go with the past 3 games since week 12, since Jerry Jones is like, he's our running back, right? He's had 22 touches. He's had 25 touches. He's had 20 touches. He's averaged about 16 fantasy points a game. Now you get the Carolina Panthers, who are dead last versus the running back, giving up 29.1 points. Dead last on the season with 378 points, 20 more points than any other team. Dead last in the red zone at 9.7 a game. They also give up, guys, 138.6 yards on the ground, which is dead last, and 1.2 touchdowns a game, which is dead last. How are you not smash starting Rico over big name running backs this week? You need to get this guy in your lineup no matter what it takes this week. Number 7, and we're going to talk about them both. I told you if we have double names, I will bring up both. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, I absolutely love this week. You get the Buffalo Bills. This is their weak spot. Look what Garendo did, right? So if you're looking at this game, you're looking at the Buffalo Bills. They rank 30th. They give up 26.8. 347 points on the season, which ranks 30th. They rank 30th in points. 28th in the red zone, giving up 8.1 and 103 yards, which is bottom 15 and a 70% chance of a touchdown. You know Montgomery with 13 touchdowns on the year is going to find the end zone in the red zone. You're probably looking at a shootout game here. And I expect Jahmyr Gibbs to break a big one in this game. I really think he's going to hit like a 70, 60-yard bomb, either reception or run, because that's what the Bills give up to running backs as chunk plays here. Now, they have the over-under at 54.5. You want every piece of this game. This is going to be a shootout game. You just saw, or sorry, I said Garenda. Look what Kyren Williams did last week. I mixed it up because I was thinking Niners-Rams last night. Kyren played the Bills last week. But look how the game went. 80 points in that game. This could be another possible shootout game. Massive scoring here. You have to get both these guys in your lineup no matter what. And it drives me crazy that people ask, should I start David Montgomery? He is always a start. Running back number 8 is going to be Joe Mixon. Get silly versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins on the season are ranked 22nd versus the running back. They gave it 23.6, but they have gotten better here lately, right? So it's kind of like you have to look at it like this as well, too. So I'm going to pull up my chart for the running backs for the last 4 weeks here. So Miami on the season is giving up 23, but the last 4 weeks are down to 22.5. Not that much of a change there. Actually, pull up 22.6, so about a point down. They've gotten a little better with their run D, right? still, I'm starting Joe Mixon 100%. There's no whether you're in the dome at home. And when you look at the red zone here, Miami Dolphins give up the 27th in the red zone. So the high touchdown upside at 90% there as well. You have to love Joe Mixon. You have to love the usage he's getting. He's got to be in your top 10. Number 9, Kyron Williams. I'm sorry my rankings are late, guys. I didn't get to it this week. He played already. I did have him ranked at 9. I'll show you Garendo as well, who has already played as well. So he's there. Now, number 10, Jonathan Brooks goes down with the same ACL injury. Absolutely brutal. Chuba Hubbard is now going to be a smash play. You get the Dallas Cowboys. They rank 28th. They give up 25.1. They just lost Overshown, too. Major injury to their defense as well. Like the 49ers, man. They just can't stay healthy this year. They rank 18th in the red zone. They give up 98.8 yards to 100 yards per game and 1.1 touchdowns, which is second last. So expect Chuba to have a big, big day here. Number 12 is going to be Chase Brown. I had him ranked as RB4 last week. He was RB6, almost hit that on the nail. Now, the matchup you're going to get this week is going to be Tennessee. And it's one of those weird matchups. And Chase Brown has had 20 plus points in 4 out of 5 games. So absolutely bonkers what this guy is doing in fantasy football. You're going to get the Tennessee Titans. And you know their season's pretty much over. Will Levis re-injures the shoulder, banged up there. So they give up 22.5. They do rank 25th in the red zone, though. They give a lot of red zone points, 7.5 to the running back in the red zone, 85.5 yards on the ground, which is top 15. So it's a good run D in yards. That's why I'm kind of iffy on this. So I'm going to pull up the last 4 weeks as well for the Titans here because they're that defense that's like hard to judge when you need the numbers to break it down to look at it, right? So when you're looking at on the season, right? So I said the Titans right now, they rank 15th. They gave up 22.5. Now, in the past 4 weeks, the Tennessee Titans have gotten better. They're at 21.7. Their touchdown rate has gone down, but they've been playing like grunge, ugly games. So I still really love Chase Brown a lot. It's just one of those, weird matchups right here you're looking at when you play the Titans. Number 13 is going to be James Conner, who absolutely balled out last week again. I mean, this guy's just become a start every single week, and people question it. It's kind of crazy to me. So when I'm looking at James, right, I'm going to pull him up real quick. Hang on here. I got 500 screens and information I'm looking at. So gets Seattle last week, finally gets his snap share back up. So I was getting worried, that he's getting older. He was at 59, 69, 54, 48. I was like, what's going on with James Conner here? That was off the bye as well. So now he's back to his 84, 80, 77% snap share, which is what you want. And it's what they should be doing because they're fighting for the playoffs. I don't know why they're switching in DeMercado, why they're switching in Trey Benson so much. James Conner's the better running back. That's why they paid the man. Use the man like he is. And he'll give you 20 fantasy points. Exactly what he did last week. Now you get the New England Patriots. Does it get any better than this? The New England Patriots defense versus the run is ranked 17th, giving up 22.8. Third last in the red zone, 29th, giving up 8.2 points to the running back per game. You have to love James Conner to find the end zone, 80% chance, and 111 yards they give up on the ground. And James Conner is going to destroy the New England Patriots this week. Get this guy into your lineup. Number 14 had already played. I had Isaac Garendo at 14. He had a decent game, not a baller game like I thought, but I said he would still be a start and get 10 plus fantasy points, and he absolutely did. Number 15 is going to be Jonathan Taylor. And coming off the bye here, the Colts, it's Anthony Richardson always has the ability to, take a, push Jalen Hurts play away here. But when you're looking at week 13, you see Jonathan Taylor go for 17 points. You see him see 25 touches, 24 touches, 21 touches, 20 touches. This guy just sees the rock nonstop. You do get the Denver Broncos. Not a bad defense, not a great defense, a very good front seven in the red zone, right? So the Broncos rank 14th. They give up 22.2 points per game to the running back position, but they rank 5th in the red zone. So like I said, they have a very good front seven. Only 77.5 rushing yards they give up, which is top 5, and about a 40% chance of a touchdown because their front is good. That's the only reason I have JT ranked so low. You're still starting him because it's Jonathan Taylor, but it is a tough matchup, and Anthony Richardson always has a chance to take away a touchdown. Coming in at number 16 is going to be Zach Charbonnet, and I got to apologize. He proved me wrong by a mile last week. 42.3 fantasy points. Absolutely unbelievable week. He had 24 touches. He had a total of 180 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. You're going to get the Green Bay Packers here Sunday Night Football. Now, Green Bay, if they have a weak spot, it's first the run. Their defense is very good at creating turnovers, very good in the secondary. They give up 23.6. They rank 26th in the red zone, giving up 7.5 and 88.2 rush yards, which is top 15, but a 70% chance of a touchdown. And you already know that K9 is ruled out. Zach Charbonnet is still going to be a great play. Do I think he's going for 40 again? No, I do not. It's going to be a different game here versus Green Bay. And you're going to be, it's going to be a little colder in Seattle probably as well. So he's still going to get 20 touches, but I don't think he's going for that many points against, 40 points again seems a little aberration. Number 17, and I need to pull it up together. I'm going to get Tyjae Spears here. I have him ranked at the bottom. And it's going to be Tony Pollard. And I know he's a little banged up right now. I haven't seen the injury update for today. I'm going to pull it up right now while we're live. He wasn't at practice yesterday. I know that. I do not see a new update today for the Tennessee Titans. But you're going to get the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Cincinnati Bengals are average versus the run. They really struggle versus the pass. But they give up 21.7, which ranks 13th, 19th in the red zone, 94.5 yards, which is middle of the pack, below 15, and a 90% chance of a touchdown. And if he's out there healthy, you're starting him as a low-end RB2 or mid-RB2 in this game. Could it be out of hand and they're behind by a ton passing heavy? That would help him because the receiving work, the Bengals give up a lot to. So, that would help Pollard even more. But if he's not out there and, we don't have the injury update yet, I'd probably move Tyjae Spears up around 2022 range. So you got to pay attention to the updates on this one, guys. Moving on to the next running back, Brian Robinson Jr. I absolutely love this week versus the New Orleans Saints. You cannot get a better matchup for this man coming off the bye. They give up 24.7, which ranks 25th. They're 21st in the red zone, get up 6.8 to the running back, and 107.5 yards, which is bottom 10 in the NFL, and a 1.1, which is tied for second last touchdown here. But what we saw before the bye, was, and Austin Eckler is out, is you saw McNichols, and you saw I'm blanking, Chris Rodriguez. At the same time, I'm blanking on his name for a second. And I don't know if they're thinking, saving for the playoff run. This is crunch time. They need to feed this guy 20 touches in this game. And I know they did last game because it was a blowout, right? Which hurt Brian Robinson in the game. But if I'm looking at it, he had 16 for 103, which is great. And then they pulled him from the game. I want to see this guy still go here. I don't know why they're saving it. I get the injury clause behind it. Let Brian Robinson feast and he'll go bonkers in this game. Number 19, he's moving up my charts. So it was 30 in his first game back. Now I had him last week at 25, 26. His touches are coming back up here. And he had a very tough matchup versus the Chargers. So he went from 7 carries to 14 carries, 1 reception to 2 receptions. So his numbers are coming up off the major injury. You get the Cleveland Browns, which is a tough run D. They rank 7th, give it up 19.4. They rank 20th in the red zone, give it up 6.4 to the running back. So opportunity high in the red zone. 86.2 yards and 1 touchdown a game. So you can almost, bank on Pacheco finding the end zone in this game. I know they struggled and got a lot of field goals last week. That could be the case again with the Chiefs offense right now. I don't know why they're not scoring touchdowns, but they're getting so many field goals. But I like Pacheco to see 20 touches in this game. He should be back fully healthy. This should be the revamped game where he goes off. Number 20, James Cook. And I cannot explain this usage. I had him as a smash start last week. Absolutely missed that by a mile. They had the LA Rams. They had a great matchup. And guys, he's only played over the past 3 weeks. He's never broken 50% snaps. I know he's dealing with a toe injury. 37, 45, 45. He only had 6 carries versus the Rams in a game that was over 80 points. 2 receptions for 9 yards. You saw Ray Davis. You saw Ty Johnson. It drives me nuts. James Cook should be getting all the workload. He's the better running back. I know that they have playoff aspirations and could be saving him or whatever they're thinking. Really, really rough for me with James Cook right now. He's not getting the usage. Number 21, this is the lowest I've ranked him all season long, Alvin Kamara. And I know he had his illness and didn't practice. I think he's going to be out there. I'm not worried about that at all. Look at how the offense looked against the New York Giants, which is supposed to be a smash play. With the offensive line beat up, Carr gets hurt. Now they got Hainer in. He had 17 carries for 44 yards. 2.5 per carry. That's terrible. He usually gets done in the receiving game, so he got 5 for 35 to save his day there. You get the Commanders. And if you've been following my channel or subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button. The Commanders are 12th now versus the run. When the season started, guys, they were 30th, 28. So Dan Quinn, the coaching job that he's done, switching to single high with the defense, absolutely changed the whole dynamic of how this defense looks. Now, when you're looking at the past 4 weeks, so the Commanders have gotten worse in the past 4 weeks, but there's a bye in there involved. So they've dropped from, I think they're at 20.7 or 21.2, 21.7. So not that big of a drop. They're staying on trend. So it's still a good running defense is what I'm looking for to give you guys the information, right? So, I mean, you got to go here as well, too. You got to look at, they rank 9th in the red zone, too. This is a very good red zone defense versus the run, but they do get chunk yardage. So when you're looking at it, they give up 114 yards, which is bottom 5, bottom 6, 7 in the NFL. But I don't know if I trust it. You saw Kendre Miller get 10 touches last week. You saw Kendre Miller find the end zone. So it's just tough for me to rank Kamara right now with all the Saints situation. Obviously, I like him still as a start. It's just, I don't know how the Saints season's over and everyone's beat up. Olave, Taysom Hill out, O-line's beat up. I mean, it's very, very tough to rank this with Alvin Kamara, who I really love right now. Number 22, Ramondre Stevenson. And I know you just saw Zach Charbonnet destroy the Arizona Cardinals, right? Absolutely destroyed them. Do you think Ramondre Stevenson's going to do the same thing? I don't think he's going to do the same thing at 40 points, but could he be a 12 to 15 point floor play? He could. I mean, he's had 12 points, 12 points, 20 points, 20 points in his past 8 games. So 4 out of 8 good games over 10, but he's also had 3 points, 8 points, 4 points. So he's kind of a roller coaster ride. The Patriots offense is all over the place, but the Cardinals versus the run are bad. They rank 26th. They give up 24.7. They rank 14th in the red zone, 105 yards they give up per game, and a 70% chance of a touchdown. It's just, do you trust the Patriots offense? Do you want to throw out Ramondre Stevenson? I would say he's a flex play at best. Number 23, Aaron Jones, and the toughest running back to ever rank for me all year long is Aaron Jones. So when I'm looking at Aaron Jones, I mean, like, describing his year is like an anomaly. It's the weirdest thing of all time, right? So I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm going to break it down why he's one of the hardest for me to rank. And then you decide where if you want to start him or not, because he's a tough start for me always. So last week, 16 fantasy points, 63% snaps. Week before that, 53% snaps, 9 points. Week before that, 20 points. So you see the roller coaster ride, right? So just watch this, okay? 63. We'll start again at the beginning. Atlanta, week 14, 63%, 16 points. Found the end zone at the end in garbage time to save the day with a blowout, okay? Week 13, Arizona, 53% snaps, which is terrible. Only 5 carries, 22 yards, 9 points. Then Chicago, who they're playing this week, he absolutely destroyed for 79% snaps, 22 carries for 100 yards, his highest total yards on the season. Then the week before that, he goes to Tennessee, back down to 53% snaps, 15 carries, 39 yards, which is terrible, 5 points. Then he goes to Jacksonville, which is a smash play, only plays 52% of the snaps, and only gets 12 points. Then he goes to Indy and plays 75% of the snaps, his highest snaps in the whole time we just talked about, and he gets 12 points. So with him, I know the Vikings are winning, and I know they could be saving him because he's just turned 30 and he's getting older. You get Chicago, they're still fighting for the bye spot. Chicago's his second best game of the year, and you're at home. You have to like him as a flex start. I mean, at best, or low in RB2 if you need. But you just don't know how his usage is going to go. That's why he's the hardest thing. When I'm looking at 63, 53, 79, 53, 52, 75, 92, 52, 72, like, he always gets nicked up in the game, comes out for a couple drives with this. He's older. I mean, I like the matchup. It's just tough. It's just tough with him. So when you're looking at the Chicago Bears, they'd be getting gashed by the run. They ranked 24th, giving up 24.5, 15th in the red zone, 115 yards, which is bottom 5, and 1 touchdown a game. I want to say he's going to be a smash play. I just don't know how his usage is going to go. That's the hardest thing for me with Aaron Jones all year long because he's older and has a major, major injury history over his career. Number 24, we're going to grab them both. Jaylen Warren is down here at number 34 as well. Najee Harris. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a very tough matchup this week. You're going to get the Philadelphia Eagles in a big, big game at Philly in the cold. But this is where big backs are brought into bruise, right? But Philly ranks 3rd versus the running back on the season. Get up 17.7, 2nd in the red zone, 2nd in total points, 78.9 yards, which is top 10, and a 40% chance of a touchdown. This front 7 is very nasty in Philly. the only reason I have Jalen Warren and Najee so low. If you need to flex Najee, that's at best that I would give him this week with a possible, 40% chance of a touchdown, which is one of the lowest you can go up against. So not a matchup I really like here. And George Pickens is out. So they're just going to load the box here. Moving up to number 25 and number 26, Bucky Irving. We don't know if he's going to be out there. Got to check the injury updates. Rashad White, he balled out last week with Bucky out. I think Bucky's going to play in this game, in my opinion. It's a monster game for both these teams, 7-7, 8-5, going up against the Chargers. But the Chargers' run D just got Khalil Mack back, and they're very good. They rank 6th. They give up 18.7. They're number 1 in the red zone, only allowing 1.8 points to the running back. They tighten up tough in the red zone, 92.8 yards on the season, and a 20% chance for a rushing touchdown. But you also know that Rashad White does a lot of his work in the receiving game as well. So when you're looking at that, he could always find a reception down there instead of rushing yards. Those are rushing yard stats you're looking at. But if they're out there, they're flex plays at best, again, for both of them. This one hurts me, man. Tyrone Tracy, my sleeper call of the year, the rookie that I thought would take the job and run with it, and he has. And he's been doing good, and then he had his fumbles, and he got in a little trouble there. But now you get Baltimore. It's such a tough matchup for Tyrone Tracy. He did play 83 and 73% of the snaps, so he's the main guy out there. But, look at last week, right? He had so many touches for nothing against the Saints, and that was a good matchup. He had 14 touches for 45 yards. That's 2.81 per carry. Now you get the Baltimore Ravens, who only allow 64.4 rushing yards, which is second best in the NFL, and they allow 3.4 yards per attempt on the season. And he just had a 2.8 yards last game against the Saints. It's going to be a really, really rough matchup versus the Ravens here. They rank 8th on the season, 10th in the red zone, and there's a 50% chance of a touchdown like Philly. This is a very, very good front seven and tough to find the end zone here. I don't really like Tyrone Trace, but if you need to throw him out there as a flex play, you can. Number 28, DeAndre Swift, and you got to check the injury updates for him also as well here. He's been questionable on the week coming in, so I'm going to look at it right now while we're at it. I don't think I've seen anything new. He was DNP Thursday. Haven't seen the update for Friday, but today's the big day for everything. So make sure you're checking those updates. And you're going to get the Minnesota Vikings. And last time he played the Minnesota Vikings, he got 9 points, 13 for 30, and he had 3 receptions for 35 to save his day through the air. Now, if you've seen what's happened here, he played San Francisco, played Detroit. He hasn't had 10 points since the coaching change here. The running game has been absolutely gone. And that could be Roschon Johnson with a concussion. He could be back this week as well to, vulture the goal line carries like he always does. And Minnesota is a very good run defense, guys. The Vikings give up 18 points to the position. They rank 5th on the season. They rank 12th in the red zone. They give up 72.3 yards, which is top 10, and a 50% chance, just like the Chargers, as a chance for a touchdown. So, and he never gets the goal line work. So, the only way he's really going to score if he pops a reception or pops a long one, which he hasn't done in a minute. Could he do it? Yeah, he always can. But it's just a rough matchup for me for DeAndre Swift. I don't like him. I'm at 28. If you need to flex him, that's about all I would do. Number 29, Tank Bigsby. And here's the craziest thing ever. I'm ranking Travis Etienne, who was a second-round pick in this fantasy football draft this year, at RB36. That's where we're at in fantasy football right now. Tank Bigsby saw 18 carries last week. Etienne saw 4. He got all of it done in the receiving game. You're going up against the New York Jets. This is a good run defense, even though their season's kind of over. They rank 10th, getting up 20.8, 7th in the red zone, 95 yards, and 70% chance of a touchdown. The goal line work, if they get down there, is going to go to Bigsby. Could you say Etienne's receiving work is going to go up because Evan Ingram's out for the season? You could. Do you trust it? I don't. The Jags are done. I don't really want anything to do with them besides Brian Thomas Jr. at this point. If you need to flex him, you can flex Tank, but it's still going to be scary for me in the matchup they're facing this week. Number 30, Gus Bus Edwards. He's going to crack into my rankings here. The matchup is actually not bad, guys. You get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They give up 22.9. They rank 18th. They rank 23rd in the red zone, giving up 84.5 yards, which is about top 15 there, and a 50% chance of a touchdown. But Gus Bus has found the end zone 2 out of the past 3 weeks. He's not getting a lot of work, but he does get the goal line carry. He's going to get the chance to score. And they're at home. Their defense is always going to get them the ball more. You're probably going to see Kamani Vidal as a split. If you need to flex him, you can. I don't like it at all. It's not safe at all. It's very touchdown. Very touchdown dependent. Sorry. Sorry. Number 31, and I'm going to do both these at the same time here because I don't know what to do. I wish there was one guy here. So Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, I'm going to rank at 31. The matchup is absolutely beautiful. This is your pot of gold fantasy defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they rank 31st, giving up 27.6, 31st in the season, 32nd in the red zone, 105.1 yards was bottom 10, and a 90% chance for one touchdown for a running back. But if Braylon Allen was the full 20-down carry guy, I'd have him in the top 15 to 16, but he saw split work with Isaiah Davis, who outscored him last week and found the end zone. So if Breece Hall is out there, obviously Breece Hall will go to the top 15, top 12 range for me, and he'd get all the work, obviously. But if the situation is Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, I was super high on Braylon Allen. I did not think Isaiah Davis would get that many touches, and that's how it is. So I just don't trust it. The matchup is absolutely gold, but I don't know who it's going to be. It's 50-50 split. I don't trust it. You're kind of picking one to find the end zone. Obviously, Braylon's the bigger guy, but then you saw Isaiah Davis getting goal line work. So the Jets are just all over the freaking place, man, and I don't know what to do with their running back, so I'm ranking them at 31 together. Number 32 is going to be Nick Chubb, and this has just gotten worse and worse for Chubb. I mean, the Cleveland Browns run game is shot. Nick Chubb has played 30% of the snaps, 34, 36. He'll get the goal line work, in the past 2 weeks. Denver and Pitt, tough matchups. You get the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the number one defense in fantasy football versus the run, allowing 14.9. That's 2.6 lower than anyone. They are very, very good. Number one on the season, 6th in the red zone, 58 yards per game, which is number one. Stay away from Nick Chubb if you can this week. Number 33, first time making the rankings ever, and he's named the starting running back. If Alexander Madison is back or not, it is Sincere McCormick. And guys, he hasn't looked bad. So I mean, if you need a flex play, this is like the last flex play I would advise as a running back possibility. Do I trust the Raiders? No, I do not. But he's had a floor of about 9.5 points for the past 2 weeks. He's seen 15 carries, 12 carries, average yards per carry over 5 against KC and Tampa, which is nice to see. Even some receiving work as well, which is nice. You get the Atlanta Falcons, you get Monday Night Football. You're going to get the last laugh if you need to throw him out there at flex. I'm barely okay with it. Falcons are number 9 versus the run, number 17th in the red zone, giving up 88.7 yards and a 30% chance of a touchdown. And the Raiders are probably going to have Desmond Ridder out there. Aiden O'Connell's fighting to get out there. If you need to flex him, you can. Don't love it. Don't hate it. It's just my last kind of flex option running back I would throw out there. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. Sorry again, my rankings were late. I will have them out next week before Thursday. That is my Week 15 top 36 heading into your fantasy football playoffs. And again, guys, if you have any questions, you cannot make any of the live shows I have coming up. Pop any question you want in there. I will try to get to them all. I'm going to get my quarterback rankings today, and then tomorrow I will do my wide receiver tight end, hopefully early Saturday, so they're all out before Sunday. And then again, next week I will have everything out before Thursday. It was just a different week for me this week. Before we head out, guys, again, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscription button. It helps me out a ton. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support this season. It's been absolutely amazing. And I absolutely love when you guys drop comments in there saying, you made me go to the playoffs this year. You've helped me with all that. It means the world to me. It's absolutely awesome to see. And again, guys, I will have all my rankings out, and I'll have all my shows coming this weekend as well. So make sure you turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. And I hope to catch you guys in the next video. SleezBall out.